Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Plant-Based
Bros.
I am brother number one. I'm Miguel.
Brother number two here. I'm Ant.
What a gentleman. What a gentleman. Listen, ladies and gents, before we take you on this journey with us, the two plant-based bros, we kind of want to get into the name first, because, before you start a journey, you kind of have to have some backstory, some information,
Absolutely.
some context clues, as they might say. Okay, so here we start with plant-based, right? Plant-based is something very similar to a vegetarian diet. It's actually, in other words, a vegan diet. So basically, we don't eat anything that has animals in it, no meat, no cheese, no dairy, along the same lines,
Yeah.
those things right there. But yeah, basically, that's the diet we follow. We've been following it for a little bit, and we kind of stumbled upon it. And how did we stumble upon it, brother?
Honestly, it was about 2 years ago. We've been sticking with this diet.
I think I want to say over 2 years.
Maybe even
maybe
over?
2 years and a half even. Man.
Honestly, yeah, probably
right.
at this point. Yeah. But just in the midst of the pandemic, 2020 era just hitting,
Yeah.
you guys know. But yeah, I noticed that we were just chilling at the crib a lot, really not going out. But he and his wife, they tried out the plant-based diet just because they got inspired by what was the name of it?
Netflix documentary called Game Changers.
Absolutely.
If you've never seen it, definitely check it out.
Not
associated or not a plug or anything like that. But if you want to check it out, feel free to.
Right, yeah. So I saw they started it. I gave them a month to see how they were doing and how they felt on it. But I was bored, so I was just I'll try it. I'll do what they're doing, and it was cool. It was a good transition, and yeah, just from there we've stuck with it. It's been really cool.
Yeah, definitely been something that's been integrated. Into our daily lives, for sure. And I think it's something that I take pride in. I think there's a beauty within discipline, and
right.
The vegan diet, requires a lot of discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. I would honestly say I kind of wouldn't pay mind to it that I'm being disciplined in terms of I'm actually not going out of my diet to eat something else or a craving that might happen. But it's
100%.
It's just cool at the end of the day to stick to whatever diet plan that you want. You guys do whatever really you want to follow in your progress of right there. But nutrition is very key,
Yeah, 100%. And that kind of leads and segues perfectly into what we're going to talk about today on today's episode.
Right.
This is our intro episode, so we kind of want to let you guys know not only what the podcast is about, but what we're about as a duo, what I bring to the table, what Ant, this handsome lad himself, brings to the table. Very intelligent, very intelligent mind over here to my left-hand side. To your right, I guess, if you're watching this on the tube and stuff like that. But hey, anyways, if you're listening, sorry for the waffle. But anyways, we're going to talk about basically that segues perfectly, with whatever you want to follow. This Plant-Based Bros podcast. Listen, man, we're not here to tell you how to live a perfect diet.
Right.
We're not going to be dude, drop everything and start eating liver. What? That's not our vibe. And respects to the Liver King. That's a legend out there and stuff like
follow
that.
Whatever you want to follow.
Exactly, bro. I think one of the beautiful things about life is that there's so many different avenues. And this is the avenue that we chose to take. So it's something that we feel good about, and it's something that we kind of just want to, put out to the masses and kind of explain,
Right, and we're still just learning about it every day.
100%.
So you could see a new source of protein that you can get, and that's something you could write down.
Yes.
Just keeping track of, something that you could add into rotation. Because sometimes, people also wouldn't understand the other side of maybe you could get a little bored of the strict diet that you have, not going out of that
That's
scope
a very
and
good
stuff.
point.
But
yeah.
It's okay. You could just kind of stick with it.
100%, dude. It's once you kind of get into it, it's one of those things that it becomes a lot easier. The saying, it's a lot easier said than done. It's very easy to say you're going to do something, but when you really see yourself starting to do something, I think there's a power behind that.
Right.
So it's definitely added a confidence boost to my life, and like Ann mentioned, he saw how my wife and I, shout out my wife Camila, by the way. He's mentioned how we were feeling, and I felt amazing, dude. I was just man, I have so much energy. I feel great.
Right on.
I look great, and I ended up losing a lot of weight. It wasn't I was looking to, but I ended up losing a lot of weight, and there's a big stereotype behind, you don't get enough protein in a vegan diet, and, that's something to dissect, definitely, to do a deep dive into for another episode, But,
sure.
basically, with that little bit of the weight loss and stuff like that, I just realized I felt really freaking good, man, and I was like, listen, I gotta tell Ann about it. Ann hopped on. He loved it. And we've had homies that have hopped on it for a couple weeks, have tried vegan food here and there, and they like it, man. Right?
Yeah, even if we go out and shout out to the friends for honestly
100%.
wanting to accommodate to us whenever we go out and stuff.
100%.
But they try out the vegan food and they get down with it too. It's just
it's good food, man. It's kind of hard not to get down with it.
Yeah, there's no stigma connected to it. We're It's a cool thing.
Big shout out to the homies though. They're definitely always down. They're always with the vibes, and they're always down to try some good food. And like I said earlier, I mean, it's kind of hard not to get down with some good grub. But moving on to what you guys can expect from this podcast. Like we mentioned earlier, we are not here to talk about anything that's gonna bring on some sort of arrogance or perfection. That's not our vibe. We're not here to be like, oh, we're vegan, we're better than you, you have to do this if you want to feel better. No, that's not the vibe. That's very negative. It's kind of toxic if you ask me. We're here to kind of just like spread the word of like the plant-based power, as some people say, and not only that, but just different aspects, not only for your physical health but for your mental as well.
Very big thing to always keep a lookout for your mental health. I would honestly say, like, once I truly took the time to see what mental health was, and like we can't really always start with comparison in mental health. That's the biggest thing. Like, all of our minds are different, so you have to dig into your own mind just to see where you start. And we all have progress every day, things that we're just working towards.
Different anxieties that we deal with and stuff.
Absolutely.
That's human nature, man.
That's human nature, absolutely.
That's really well said. Very, very well said.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like you said, moving into not only the mental, like we were mentioning just now, but also the physical as well, not only are we going to provide you with this podcast, but we'll do a couple vlogs here and there of us going to the gym. Maybe doing some groceries, some vegan groceries and stuff like that.
That'd be a really cool idea.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I remember, taking a homie, and he was like, man, I don't know about this whole vegan thing. Like, it seems kind of expensive. And that's kind of another stereotype, really. Like, it's expensive. Anything that kind of sounds like fancy schmancy kind of sounds expensive, but it's not really that expensive, man. I took him and I was like, listen, you can get a lot of things here, and I think max will spend is $40. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And he was like, yo, you were right, dude. You weren't tripping. That's a pretty good deal, So we'll put people onto that and stuff like that. And I kind of want to segue, the workout vids and all that stuff into Ant's background because, dude, this is the guy right here. This is the doctor of the family. He's gonna be the first Dr. Rodriguez. You already know, but not to put
not to jump gun or anything
and anything like that. But this man is already taken. Listen, this man is already taken med school level classes and is succeeding. And as an older brother, I mean, I can't do anything but be proud. I mean, and I think it's, before we dive into Ant's thing real quick, I think it is worth mentioning the plant-based bros. We mentioned the plant-based bros. Obviously, we are brothers. We are brothers,
Right.
I think that's important to mention. We're not brothers as homies. Like, what am I doing? No, this is my blood brother. This is my brother. We are both Miguel and Anthony Rodriguez, respectively. And
government names coming
at you. Yes, sir. No social security because we're not letting you take anything more than our names. But aside from that, the bros aspect is obviously we're brothers and stuff like that. And like I was saying before, as a proud older brother, seeing this kid just like romp through these medical school level classes.
I appreciate you.
And no, bro, I appreciate you working so hard and just doing everything that you do, man, to really to strive for your best and to reach for the sky, man.
Right.
But I'm really proud of him, and we're brothers. So I'll have Ant kind of talk a little bit about himself and his journey going on right now. Yeah.
All right. So my background, we are seeing med school level classes, but currently I'm not in med school or anything like that. But I'm currently studying exercise science at FGCU. It's been really cool. Learned a lot of stuff, met a lot of cool people.
Heck yeah, for
really cool, just smart individuals who it's a cool thing to see, like, being in a program with multiple individuals who are kind of like-minded in the sense of striving toward a goal. Like, we've all had, for the last 2 years, I've just had like the same classes with different people, like the same kind of group of people.
Yeah, you kind of get like the same group. You kind of get like the same familiar faces in college classes. I kind of remember that for my major.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So like you kind of built relationships and just 100%. Like it's a really cool thing that I've gone through. And I've just at the moment, like I have one more year to come, and starting up in August, I do have an internship that's coming up.
That's super fire. Well, let's get into that a little bit more toward the end of the pod, because I definitely want to talk about this last summer semester that you just had, because I just grinded not only through a summer A or a summer B, but a summer C semester, which entails both semesters. And basically, this guy had like 2 weeks off for summer break, and then he was like back in school, and then now he's gonna have like another couple weeks before. Actually, is it closer to a month? Actually,
closer to a month.
Actually, nice. Closer to a month before he has to get started on his next endeavor. But before we talk about that next endeavor, just a little bit about myself. I went to FGCU as well. I was a communication major. Also minored in journalism. I used to work for a couple of newspapers here locally in the area as a sports writer. Journalism is one of my passions. I had a podcast before called Tie-Dye Talks that I was super passionate about. It was super fire. 20 episodes of just pure vibes, pure good energy, and just talking about music and having really good people on, and I really enjoyed it. Ant was on an episode before, which is
that a low-key plug right there.
No, it's not funny. No, you're too funny, brother. But I mean, if you want to listen back to the archives, nothing wrong with that. But I remember having you on an episode, and I something in the back of my mind was like, yo, and was kind of good at this. I can kind of see like a couple years from now, he gets a little bit of life under his wings, you know, kind of like, you know, experiences a couple things, gets a little battered by this thing that we call life, right? I was like, it'll be kind of interesting to see who he is as a person and what he can bring to a podcast. And I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. I mean, the crazy thing is that like, he's my younger brother. We're, you know, apart by 4 years, but he always feels so much closer in age to me because of how mature he is, how brilliant and smart he is, and just how much of a good lad he is. He's a very good guy, and you know, I'm blowing him up right now. He kind of is probably just like, you know, but you know, he's just a really good fucking guy, and nah, for sure, brother. And I'm just, you know, really proud of the man he's become, and I'm really excited to, you know, go on this, you know, journey with you on this podcast, dude, because like podcasting, as you know, and even having the video now with the YouTube, I never had some YouTube compartment before, and doing this now, man, it's just so awesome. It's gonna be really lit, and you know, it's gonna be a really fun journey. So, you know, a lot of things that you guys can expect. Again, you know, the workout videos, a lot of stuff, not only things for your mental psyche, but you know, for your physical as well, different routine tips, and you know, like his exercise science knowledge has invested in him. He has a lot of good unique tips, tricks, and rules for the road to follow when you're at the gym to get that maximum pump, to not get hurt, and to properly make sure that you're looking fire, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that I think one of the coolest things that I've learned is just like, all of our bodies are different.
Yes,
you know,
that's the biggest thing.
You can kind of treat it as your own body is your own kind of science experiment, really, you know, like, and I heard that from an external source. I can't really remember but you know,
shout out that source.
Yeah, but like, like it's just a cool thing. Like, if you are putting in work for your own body and you know you're looking out for yourself at the end of the day, like,
that's key.
You're gonna see progression. And
major key.
Very cool thing.
Word of DJ Khaled right there. Major key right there.
Major
but
key.
That's facts, brother. I mean, you're just you're preaching to the choir right there, bro. Yeah. But you're making a really good point. But before we hop into our first topic of the evening, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Alrighty.
Right here.
This episode of Plant-Based Bros is sponsored by Very Good Vegan Bakery. Mm-hmm. Very Good Vegan Bakery, and you've had some stuff from there. How fire is it, my boy?
All right, like, I mean, I'm hyping it. I can't like go out of words. It's different.
Okay,
it's different. You gotta try it out for yourself.
Would the people say it's different gravy?
Oof. That's applicable.
That's applicable. I like that. A little bit about our sponsor. Very Good Vegan Bakery. They're a bakery in Southwest Florida. They are the newest plant-based bakery in the area. Coincides perfectly with us, the Plant-Based Bros. Obviously, we can eat everything there, and it is super fire. I mean, dude, banana breads, cookies, cinnamon rolls, muffins. I mean, anything you can think of.
Anything you think of, you could put in request as well. You never know what could get whipped.
Listen, the baker at Very Good Vegan Bakery is very skilled, very talented.
I agree.
Know her a little bit, very well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a little bit.
Very cool.
A little bit, you know. And you know, it's a very good spot. You know, they offer a variety of vegan treats, and you know, they're led by the renowned banana bread, different flavors. There's like a chocolate one, there's like a peanut butter one. It's brilliant. But listen, all you have to do is follow them on Instagram, and it's gonna drop it below, or we'll even put the link in the description.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be, and for our listeners on audio, you know we got you. It's gonna be the at berry, as in like a strawberry, but just berry good bakery _ that's Very Good Bakery _ on Instagram. Okay, you go on that Instagram, you're gonna see a fire logo, you're gonna see some delicious treats, and then you're gonna see message. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to click on that message, and you're gonna want to put in an order for something delicious.
Absolutely.
What are they gonna do when they put in that message? Who are they gonna mention?
Let me tell you something. When they order that, they're just not gonna regret it. That's it.
I love that. He said, "Let me tell you something." Tell him, brother. Tell him. Yeah. But listen, what he was supposed to tell him.
Yeah, I did.
Was that when you message them to put in an order, what you want to do is you want to mention Plant-Based Bros, or you want to just mention that you heard about the bakery on the Plant-Based Bros podcast. You don't have we don't have a specific code because you're just like, you know, kind of shooting a DM, but you're not like sliding in the DMs because like that's my wife at the end of the day. So like chill out. All right, that's why I know her well, because it's my wife that runs the bakery. Alright, but anyways, our sponsor, super lit. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Order today, mention the Plant-Based Bros, and get
Very Good Vegan Bakery
10% off.
Get 10% off. There you go.
I love that.
Because you just don't know.
No, I love it. Now the one thing that we didn't really get too into at the very beginning because we were kind of like set on, setting the landscape, setting the environment for what is the Plant-Based Bros podcast.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that we're talking about today is some big news. We have a new addition to the Rodriguez family.
Absolutely.
And my beautiful wife and I are expecting our first child. You heard it here first.
Congratulations.
Not a Plant-Based Bros exclusive because I think I posted on it about Instagram at this point. But if you don't follow me on IG, that's fine. We'll have some links in Instagram and stuff. Don't you even worry about it. But at this point, we've let some people know on the socials that we're having the baby for a while now. My wife and I found out a little bit ago about it. We shared the news as soon as we found out, and it was easily the best moment of my life. But before we get there, we put on the socials. But before we put on the socials, we let people that are like near and dear to our heart know before, because you never want to get like life breaking or like super dope news via Instagram. I think if it's like someone that you genuinely care about, it's something that you should get via text. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that human connection.
For sure. But yeah, man, it's exciting. The newest member of the family. We're about 7 weeks out from finding out the gender and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I have a whole bunch of things I could talk about being a dad, but I would love to get your perspective about becoming an uncle, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was born to be an uncle, just to start off. Like
I love how you looked up at the camera and was like, I was born to be an uncle.
I mean, like, I've always had this thought as, like, being younger, I kind of banked on you getting someone pregnant.
I mean, yeah, I am 4 years older than you. I would be kind of a little... No, I mean, listen.
Stuff
and I'm not going to say I'd be ashamed, but I would be a little concerned at first if you had a child before I did.
Yeah,
but listen, there's no judgment in this family. Judgment. We're all love. We're all about peace, love, and positivity in this household. So it's not like we were going to be judgmental. We would have loved the child regardless. But it is good that I was the one that kind of took the lead on that one, being the older brother, being 4 years older.
I just feel like I've kind of thought about it before, but like once it did actually kind of kick into this reality and stuff, it was just like actually happening. It's like they told me the announcement. It's just like a rush of emotions. I definitely felt. It's like I'm not like, I got happy tears, of course, for him. It's just it's a very cool thing. It's just a whole new start of a different journey and stuff. But
100%.
everything happens for a reason. So it's like this is all a part of your guys' journey, and it's a very beautiful thing. Like
100%.
Camila's a very amazing person. So
Appreciate
like you guys are just gonna create a
definitely my
soulmate
family, right there. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. And this is hopefully the first of many. Things have been very fun from the very get-go. Finding out that she was pregnant. I'll never forget that roller coaster of emotions. Nothing. It was just like as if I was just like constantly just like on like this crazy mountaintop, just like ready to do the best drop of the roller coaster over and over. That's just what I felt like I was doing, dude. Because like it's something that we try for. It's a lot easier said than done. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, things that are easier said than done. And getting pregnant's a lot harder than it looks. I mean, it's not like you just do the business deal, agreed, baby, on the way type thing. It's not very contractual or business like in that way.
It could be.
Exactly. Yes, sir. I was about to, you beat me to the punch right there for sure.
Throwing it up.
Heck yeah, no. Hey, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, man. So like, it took a while, man. And when you finally hit and you get that plus, it's an amazing feeling, and it's something that I'm looking forward for Ant to feel that, because it's something that you really can't put into words. The overwhelming reaction of positivity and love that we received when we shared the news was so beautiful. I think my favorite thing, and I think we touched about it like before in passing, but my favorite thing about announcing that my wife and I are having this child is just how much it not only brought our families even closer together, but just seeing how much sheer joy and happiness came from every single one of our family members, and like just seeing such a positive reaction in a world that's like so negative, bro, like with so many things going on and a lot of people that are just like down and like things like that. It's really easy. I mean, and I've been there before, and we'll definitely do more deep dives and talk about our own struggles and stuff like that, because dude, at the end of the day, we're human. But getting back to it, it was just, man, like seeing all that happiness, seeing nothing but positive emotions. It was just such a fulfilling feeling. And like, we let dad know, he's excited to be a grandpa. Mom's like super excited to be a grandmother.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. Right? Ecstatic is an understatement for our mother being a grandmother. My in-laws are super excited. Dude, super shout out Mama Dude. Shout out everyone in the family that's, that knows. Shout out all the homies that know and stuff like that. We love you guys very much. And we're just very excited to welcome a life into this world. You know,
Yeah,
it's something I definitely feel like I've prepared for. You know, I routinely go to therapy, once a week, and it's something that I've incorporated into my daily life for about a while, maybe like 7-8 months. And it's really benefited me as a person, and it's really made me a more confident human being. It's made me a lot more sure of myself, because it's helped me with a lot of the anxieties that I used to have and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm prepared. I didn't want to pass anything along to my child, and I wanted my child to come in with a clean slate. So I think I had to just do my work.
It's a great mentality.
100%, brother. And I think, doing that is going to allow just a lot of room for happiness, love, growth, excitement, and just all good vibes, man.
It's exciting, man. It
100%.
really is. It's a very cool thing. I'm excited for you guys.
And it's gonna be a fun uncle. It's funny because I'm like, of course you're excited, dude, because you're gonna play with the little bugger, right? And you get to go home afterwards, dude. But I mean, hey, listen, people are, and it's funny because I was talking to my wife about this, Mills, and we were just like, man, like so many people were like, oh, you're not gonna get no sleep, or anything. It's like, yo, I'm not really getting much sleep right now, Jeff. I think I'll be all right.
Sleep's important.
Sleep is very important, though. That's another thing we'll definitely talk more about, because it's definitely put me onto a lot of things, cool, not only about sleep, eating, and all that stuff, but, at the end of the day, we got a little baby plant-based, little baby coming. You know what I'm saying? And, it's really cool. And I think it'll be cool to have Mills on at some point. When she's showing a little bit more so we can see that little baby boom, you know what I'm saying? I was like stumbling on the word baby for some reason. Our audio people on Spotify and all that fun stuff, I apologize, but like you can listen in spirit, I love you. But anyways, man, I think it's going to be interesting because she'll be able to provide a perspective of being pregnant while being plant-based. Because she's had a couple cravings outside of our vegan diet, and it's been really funny, but she's like, no, of course not, I can't, because it would wreck her. I've gone outside the vegan diet a couple times at the beginning, and I'll tell you right now, it wrecked me.
Yeah, so I witnessed it. I saw him do it. But,
yo, whoa!
Not like
no, he just saw me down bad with the meat sweats.
No, like he was that bad for
like the
for a
Rock
while.
Yeah,
he paid the price.
For sure, bro. For sure. But listen, before we get into our last thing, super excited, again to be a father, bro. I'm happy day and stuff like that, super exciting and stuff like that. And it's going to be a cool journey. I'm really excited, not only, for my journey, for my wife's journey as a mother, and for everyone else's journey, for the new role that they've taken on. My dad becoming a grandfather, my brother becoming an uncle, my mom becoming a grandmother, my grandma becoming a great-grandmother, and heck, our great-grandmother is actually still alive. Yeah. So she actually has her first great-great-grandson. And I'm responsible for that. So that's low-key legacy.
Grandson, granddaughter, right?
Oh, sorry, we don't know the gender. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I'm low-key #team boy. Okay? Now,
breaking news, people.
Now, if we have a girl, I'm 100% with it. I'm not gonna be like one of those flimsy dads that you see in whatever those videos that are like, it's a girl. Nah, dude. On some Kobe Bryant-ish, I'm gonna be excited to be a girl dad. If I get a little boy, that'd be cool. But if I get a little girl, so that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, happy, healthy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't really tell if babies are happy right away because they're kind of when they come out, stuff like that.
They vibing.
They do be vibing. 100%. But nah, man, I'm looking forward to, just being alongside my wife and, just doing as much as I can to be, helpful and stuff like that, picking up more around the house and doing some more things. And I already have started doing that. And it's been empowering, man. I feel a lot more helpful. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm on a father grind, man. It feels good, dude. It feels good. It's like a rewarding feeling. And it's just it's so dope knowing that a baby in the horizon, a little mini you, is coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, dude. He's coming at some point, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be here. Or she's gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, it's always on T-Boy. Listen, when we find out, we'll bring it to the Plantedbased Bros podcast. We'll have a little video from the gender reveal and stuff like that. But we're still a bit away from that and stuff like that. But moving on to our last topic of the episode of this very eventful first episode. Kind of more on an ant level here. Like I mentioned earlier, and he was mentioning when he was talking about his background and stuff like that with school. Yeah. Man's just grinded an entire summer semester. Of again, like we've said, he's not in med school, right? Disclaimer.
Not a professional either.
Not a professional. Just a hard-working undergrad. Yeah. Mad lad undergrad.
Oh.
Bars. Anyways, he just finished that grind. Hard grind. Dude, the thing about his grind, man, and I was a communication major with some journalism. You study, you grind, you do your thing. But dude, this guy's stuff, it just entails so much. He says words that are beyond my vocabulary. And keep in mind, I'm an educator. I forgot to mention that. I'm an educator. I'm not going to say what school because I don't want you to look me up, okay? Let's just keep that between some names. If you end up finding out, cool. You did a little bit too much of a deep dive. But for now, let's just leave it at the surface. All right, champ? But anyways, I teach freshman English. I love teaching. I'm very passionate about educating, and I'm very passionate about the role model position that I have with my students, and it's super lit. But going back to what Ant does, man, I'm an English, teacher at this point, career changer and all that fun stuff, and I'm around the language a little bit. It's English. Look at dictionaries every now and then, some synonyms at the thesaurus, pick it up every now and then. I'm just trying to get a little bit more vast of a vocabulary.
OG right there.
But the words that this man says are so beyond my vocabulary that I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, he's talking some science.
Yeah, it's
so like I think science words would be like the greater than like big English words, because like I can kind of use context clues to decipher big English words. So yeah, that thing from middle school, right? Sorry about the little bleep. That thing from middle school, a little greater than the stuff like that, right? The sciencey words. I feel like that just has like a way bigger like vernacular than what's going on there. So it's just like, dude, he grinds. Tell us a little bit about it, man, because like I've seen what you do, and that was kind of the point I was getting at, just seeing like how hard you study and all these big words and stuff like that, and how you explain things, especially when we're in the gym. Big shout out to this guy. He's gonna help you guys out so much with so many different workout tips and tricks in the future. But before we even get there in the future, and make sure you guys subscribe, like this video. Listen along, give us a little rating on Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe on Spotify. A little plug at the beginning, and heck, we're gonna plug us at the end as well. But please just let us know about your semester, dude, because it's a lot of stuff, man.
This semester was really it's just cool. I think the program at FGC is very just, they know what they're doing for sure. Would
definitely recommend it for anyone pursuing something similar to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
You heard it here first on the Plant-Based Bros.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, you just go for it. But a lot of cool stuff that they've taught you. They have a very, I've learned kind of what they call a fall forward system, where you could just really you practice when you're in these labs, and you practice as if you are already the exercise professional.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a very cool
thing. That's very hands-on.
Right, of course. Yeah, no, it's a very incorporative thing that they want you to be already in that scope, or in that profession of just, and they've also taught us about staying within our scope, and whenever you have to have certain certifications just for certain things that
certain pathways.
Even just certain advice that you want to give to someone realistically. And
we're learning together, ladies.
Yeah, disclaimer: this is not professional advice. We're just
but this is advice from a kid that knows his stuff. Yeah, this is for a kid that's so in the books that he knows the books by heart at this point, type ish. You
gotta study, but that's it's all about preparation. That's a little bit of exaggeration, because it's a hyperbole. But no, it's a grind for sure. But I think the coolest thing as well is in those situations that you try out, and you're working with you're working with your classmates, and you guys could kind of just pick each other's brains in the sense of you guys are experiencing this new situation and experience together, and you guys could you can kind of feed off other people's energy and thoughts and stuff, and that's always a cool thing.
That's super fire.
Kind of work with other individuals. So shout out to
I think there's nothing but for sure, dude. Shout out to everyone in that program out there working hard and just grinding and doing what you guys do on a daily basis. You guys are the future, and y'all are going to change the lives of many individuals.
Yeah, there's different avenues, man. There's a lot of cool different in terms of as well of the internships and stuff.
100%.
There's a lot of cool sites that people are going out of state.
Yeah, you mentioned someone going to Yale or something like that, right?
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild. Shout out to that dude. That dude or dudette?
Huh?
Dude or dudette?
Dude, yeah.
Shout out that dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's just cool things and I have an internship coming up as well where I'll just basically be a
Before you get a little bit into the internship, let me just ask you real quick. Can you go a little bit into the classes that you were taking? What were these classes that you were grinding just now in this semester?
The specific ones in this class were basically a full just kind of summary class almost, in a sense of we truly practice being the practitioners, in a sense of
it was a very hands-on crash course.
Type very thing? Hands-on. They taught us a lot of new skill assessments. It's a lot of cool things. Because basically in the program they have the classes where they teach you all the muscles in the body, the bones,
the anatomy,
the basics,
all that stuff, the basics anatomy. For sure.
Yeah, and then you kind of go more into biomechanics and movements and stuff like that. But what that really is just the study of how the human body moves and stuff.
Super fun. Exercise science. That's the science behind the body, right there. Yeah, it's
a lot of cool stuff. But in these classes, I had a lot of different lab settings, and I even had a cadaver class, which for those of you that don't know, that's working with just on
sidebar. You have to tell the cadaver story, right?
I sure.
Let's go ahead. Listen,
Let me
ladies
get
and
into
gents.
they don't know what cadaver is.
But that was what the purpose of the sidebar was, just to let you
All
tell
right,
the
I
story.
got you. Yeah.
Let him put you on. If you already know, you know where this is going, but he's gonna go ahead.
It's a lab basically where
It's not Dexter's
you are
laboratory.
hands-on, definitely learning about what muscles look like under the body. But it's a shout
What
out
kind
to
of bodies?
Huh?
What kind of bodies?
Well, bodies that have passed, and it's a very you have to be very we are very respectful of these bodies and stuff because these are people that like donated their bodies to science, and so
like organ donors essentially.
in a sense, but
In a
it's
sense,
their
interesting.
whole body.
Their whole
so
body.
it's like
To science.
yeah, and the main thing, the people who like in my
Tell me.
program where I am right now, it's just learning about the muscles. So we would just kind of touch around, we would see, but the higher program, like the post-grad programming of like physical therapy, they would be the ones that like actually doing the cutting and like all the incisions of the body.
Yours was kind of just like the basic intro.
It was the basic intro basically of like seeing really
and you got an interesting intro during that as well, right?
I mean okay, yeah, so going into the like literally one of the first classes of being in the setting.
I love this story.
These bodies they're very covered in
of course they're dead.
Deceased,
I apologize.
Yes,
It's a little bit more PC.
just in a very cold tin kind of thing that like opens up basically. And they're covered by towels as well, and like there's a certain spray that you have to put on them to keep moisture and stuff.
Okay.
But there was just a time I was, and you're in your group, you're in your lab, and you're just kind of going around. There's multiple bodies that that you could go to and observe for, because everybody's body's different. So that was another cool thing to see, like what's under everything. But
100%.
yeah. Speaking of what's under.
Speaking of what's underneath.
When a funny story I would say that I encountered was I was I'm giving you that waffle, huh? I not opened, but there was already a body on the table, and I
keep in mind they're under the towels, right?
Under the towels, right? And just one of the first towels that I went to move, I'd should have maybe seen like more of the placement of the body, but I really just first towel that I moved, just male genitals, you know what I'm saying? Just right there, just good morning. Because mind you, I have this class at 9 a.m. So
wow. What a way to start your morning.
Great way to start. Great.
Wow.
Great way.
Wow.
It was a really funny story. I kept it, low-key, because you're not supposed to even be like, messing around in the class.
Yeah, that was quite the peekaboo you gave yourself there, right, champ?
I guess you could say that.
That's tough, dude. A little dark humor right there, because
that was
R.I.P. my boy.
Yeah, that was
my boy for sure, because he saw his bull sake. But
right. My God.
We'll avoid saying words like that because this is a speedy podcast,
But yeah, we're chilling, man.
I guess when you get away from the group every now and then, sometimes a good group has that one straggler, and that was it. And he just found
just ventured off by accident.
Yeah, found a couple things just hanging out in the open. Yeah. Well, under the towel, he exposed them to the open. So
covered it right back up.
Covered it right back up. Act like nothing happened.
Giving
he's not gonna say anything about
privacy for sure. No.
Wow. I apologize if you're not a fan of dark humor.
Right.
I am.
Moving on from that. But
we are listen, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, also appreciate that insight. I actually, before we even get there, can you just say the names of the classes? Because I don't think you ever said the names of the classes. I made you sidebar. So get back to the classes real quick.
Alright, so yeah. I mean, some of the most notable classes I could remember from, like, the naming and stuff is just...
not like notable classes you've taken, brother. Like the ones you took this summer. Because we're talking about your summer semester.
Oh, the summer?
Yeah, the ones that you just took, like, this entire summer. What were those classes? What did they entail type thing?
Oh, got you. Yeah, so it was mainly, like, two main classes. Okay. One of them was exercise physiology.
Okay.
Which was very cool.
Is that the one that was, like, super hands-on?
It was. I mean, yeah, you could definitely say it was
right, because I remember you saying that they were pretty hands-on.
Yeah, you do. It was cool because that was like it was like a mix between lab and like lecture type.
Okay,
type
very cool. Little hybrid.
Yeah, like, and we didn't have to actually go to lecture. The lecture videos were like online for this.
Oh, that's super considerate.
Cool for this one. Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
And yeah, it was cool. Like a lot of the cool things that we did were we would connect these EKG trackers while we would just go on the treadmill, and like we also compared like how the upper body compares to the lower body in terms of like when you're keeping it at a certain workload.
Interesting.
And yeah, I've also just like learned there's different things about like learning about workloads and like how you set a certain workload for someone who's kind of based off of where they are in their progression of their journey. So like if they're sedentary, which means like someone who doesn't work out all the time.
Okay.
Like
sedentary, like a sedentary rock almost.
Sedentary.
Oh, sorry, I heard that completely wrong. Okay. Sedentary. I apologize.
Yeah.
We're talking exercise science. I was like, science, sedentary rocks. I remember that.
Yeah, but yeah, just based off of like different progressions that people are at currently in their journey of like working out and stuff. So it's like that was one class which had that lab and lecture deal, and then the other class was it was called care and prevention.
Care and prevention.
And so that's why I was talking about like the summed up of like everything we've learned. So like it was basically just like they would give us sheets a lot of times like for practice scenarios where like it's this problem and you basically have to kind of do talking like through a systematic form of just like how you would talk to every person, like stuff that you have to include, like just professional and like legal documents wise and stuff. So like it was cool. Like I never really like
the whole nine's
thought about
I
never like thought much about it, but there's a lot that goes into it. Just like, they would make one of the assignments that were pretty big from the semester was like we had to make our own assessment forms. So like vitals that you would get and like these if you like review a system, that's like a whole like just pages of just like certain things that someone would check off just because like there's certain contraindications, which just what that is just what like certain caution signs in a sense that like if these people are checking off in this sense, then like that's something to look out for, and you could like work around that or like you talk about you kind of
so it's very it's very personalized.
Yes,
very
everything
client oriented.
Yes, it is a very client oriented. It's and everything's gonna be different. So like, what they really dug deep into teaching us was like how you could like what to hit for every person
and how to identify those differences essentially,
and also like how to make it like personalized exactly, and like not like be so general like when you're talking to these people and like
man, you make a good point because cookie cutter stuff doesn't work for exercise,
right?
Everybody's body's different, like you mentioned earlier in the
Absolutely.
pod. I love how you say that, and I think that's a topic that's going to be reiterated a lot to our listeners and our viewers. The fact that everybody's journey is different, you know. I'm a big fan of like looking up different workout videos on YouTube and like different things and stuff like that, but I used to. At first, I used to be like, dude, this guy looks like that. I gotta look like that after doing this workout. Very false. Very false.
That's very easy thing to think about.
100%, dude. My body looks like what my body looks like. Ant's body looks like what it looks like because we all have different bodies. And the brilliant thing that we can do is we can sculpt them by exercising, by working out, and by living these healthy lifestyles. And those are the tips that we're going to provide to you, you know? And kind of, you know, just closing out, you see we have the Hala Madrid, we have the Man U scarves. Big football fans, big soccer fans for our U.S. American people out here, you know what I'm saying? Dominican flag, we are of Dominican descent. We are the first Dominican Americans in our family, something we're very proud of, something that is very dope and something that we hold very dear to our heart. We speak fluent Spanish, que lo que mi gente, you already know. Whoa, that's already enough for someone to tell you're Dominican. You know, big shout out to the brother, man. I'm really excited to be, you know, going on this journey with you. We'll be having guests at some point. I have a lot of really dope homies out there that, you know, do really interesting things. I know Ant's got a lot of dope homies out there that do a lot of interesting things and stuff like that.
A lot of cool minds out there.
100%. A lot of cool people. And we're gonna make sure we bring them on here, and we're gonna make sure that we have them spread their message of, you know, just positivity and whatever their avenue is to the masses, and just, you know, give them that platform and just learn ourselves, man, because that's the biggest thing here. We're still learning.
I was just gonna mention, like, this is a progression. Like, we're still 100%. Learning in our path. We're not, you know,
we're not perfect, man. That's the number one thing. We're not perfect. We're not professionals. The only P that is involved with us is us being the plant-based bros.
I thought you were gonna say pushing P, but
I mean, hey, by pushing P, we're pushing that plant-based, you know, diet, my boy. You know what I'm saying? What does pushing P mean to you? It's all up to you, dude. It's all up to you at the end of the day. But big shout out to our sponsors again. Well, our sponsor at Very Good Vegan Bakery. That again on Instagram. Let me go ahead and get that correctly. I'm going to go ahead and bring out the phone just so that we can go ahead and make sure I have the Instagram correctly. So follow along with me. It's going to be in the link in the description on the YouTube video, so you won't have to worry about that, my YouTube peeps. If you go to our Instagram page, let's go ahead and plug our Instagram real quick. Let's plug this. Our Instagram. Okay, it's going to be Plant-Based Bros. I'm just not realizing that our Instagram handle is Plantedbasedbros. Bros. I love it. Plantedbasedbros Bros is how you're going to find it, because I think if you look up Plant-Based Bros, let me look up right now. This is real time right here, baby boy. Yeah, there's not another one. I just gotta fix it. So, you know what? go ahead
Plant-based bros.
and type in plant-based bros. I'll go ahead and fix that. You know, we're going to fix that right here live on the pod, baby.
Oh,
we're going to fix this live on the pod.
Wow. We got
Ready? Live on the pod. Fix. Done.
Wow.
This username isn't available.
Meow, meow.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I like how we did that. That was brilliant. Plant_based bros is our Instagram. Okay.
There you go.
Plant_based bros is our Instagram. If you'd like to sponsor the pod, shoot us an email on, of course, Gmail. What other website are you using for your email? I don't know. If you're using something else, holla at your boy. But that email is going to be plantbasedbros1@gmail.com. Just throwing that out there if you would like to sponsor the pod. Any local businesses, any nationwide businesses that, you know, kind of just, you know, line in with our vision of, you know, the vegan diet and stuff like that. Or even if you just got like a really cool product, if you sell sneakers, right? If you do hair, right? Shout out our barber, Angel, at Faded in the Cape. That's going to be another ad we're going to go ahead and put in an Instagram bio. Sure. We're also going to go ahead and put the ad of at Styles by Anitza, our homegirl that went ahead and
did our braids, got our hair did.
Of course, hooked us up big time. Super shout out to the homies that keep us fresh, of course. And once again, our sponsor, to wrap it up and to give them one last big thank you. Our sponsor, once again, is Very Good Vegan Bakery. Okay? Very Good Vegan Bakery. They offer that just that good. They offer that good vegan stuff. It's healthy. It's delicious. Make sure you order and use code. Well, not use code because it's not a website, but when you go ahead and shoot a DM, what are they DMing, man?
They DMing that you came from the Plant-Based Bros
podcast.
Yeah, the podcast.
And then you're ready to get that 10% off.
10%.
You let them know, put in that order, and you get that right away. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the very first episode. The first of many episodes of Plant-Based
Bros.
Yes, sir. I have been Miguel.
I've been Ant.
This has been a pleasure formally getting this whole first episode and these introductions out the way. We're looking forward to kind of just starting every pod and just diving in. Like I mentioned with the Hala Madrid and the Manchester United, we're big sports fans. We're big footy fans. So we'll talk about some footy here and there. Big avid UFC fans, right? Big UFC fans, big Yankee fans. We're originally from Jersey and closer to the New York area than anything else. So we're big New York sports fans in that regard. We love the UFC, man. Shout out to boy Sugar Shane. And you know, we're big fans of a lot of sports. You know, we're big fans of a lot of things that are done at the highest level. And it definitely inspires us to, you know, perform ourselves at a high level. So, listen, I guess our closing words to the people out there is just keep that high-level mentality.
Is there? Shout out Corday.
Shout out Corday for that one for sure, because we're not going to not attribute the person that we get something from. But listen, we've been the Plant-Based Bros. Thank you so much for going on this journey with us, and we look forward to having you follow us along on the journey. For more tips, tricks, videos, vlogs, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, follow along on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a positive review, give us a like. Shoot us a message on Instagram and say what's up. Give us your thoughts on this episode. And if you made it to the very end of this episode, put a little comment. Put like a little thumbs up or something. We'll like it. We'll like every single comment that we see on the video. We're going to like it. We want to show the love back that you guys show to us. If you're taking the time to subscribe, watch our video, and, you know, just really respond, dude, we're going to show that love back. So we'll always reciprocate that energy back on the tube. And it's going to be nothing but love. And looking forward to going on this journey with you, brother.
Two time.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.